Okay, greetings, guys. This is the second page of the first quarter final. So let's take a look at this. Here's a graph of this function, okay, and it tells me the domain is -3 to 0. Okay, so that's -3 right there to 0. Okay, so it stops right there. Okay, and the range is 1 to 10. So 1 to 10. So this is the point -3, 1, and this is the point 0, 10. Okay, that way I don't have to worry about where exactly is that. What is the domain of h in? Oh, this is easy stuff. Because remember, inverse functions switch their domain and range. So the domain of the function is the range of the inverse. So the range is -3, 0, because that's the domain of the function. The domain is the range of the function. So since the range of this function is 1 to 10, that's the domain of the inverse. All I have to do is take that domain, say it's the range, and that range, and say it's the domain. Sketch the graph. Well, to sketch the graph, all I have to do is switch these x and y values. So -3, 1 goes to the point 1, -3, right there. So that's the point 1, -3. And 0, 10 goes to the point 10, 0 right there. Now I just need to connect those with that. So I'm looking for other point. This looks like goes through the point -2, 2 there. So if I switch -2, 2, goes to 2, -2 right there. Another point, I actually think that's probably good enough because I can swing that, and there is the graph of my inverse. Cool. I'm just taking that and reflecting it over this diagonal line. Cool. So that's up above there. Okay, moving on. Determine the domain of this. Okay, domain. There were three things we needed to worry about. Let me think if I can remember them. Even roots, they have to be greater than the stuff underneath has to be greater than or equal to 0. Fractions, the denominator can't equal 0, and anything else, it's all real numbers. So I'm looking. There's an even root, so the stuff underneath is greater than or equal to 0. So if I solve that, add 6, I get x is greater than or equal to 6. There's my domain. Marvelous. Here, it's a fraction, so the denominator here cannot equal 0. So if I add 3 to the denominator here, I get x cannot equal 3. So it's all my real numbers except 3. Okay, cool. There's no even roots, there's no fractions, so this is all real numbers. And I'll just put the symbol because I don't want to write out the words. It's too long. Okay, cool. Now, this function here says, here's this function. The graph of the following function has been provided. Identify the following key features, and here's the graph. And I have all these points right there. And let's do some of the ones I think are pretty straightforward. X-intercepts. Where does it cross the x-axis? There, there, and there. So -2.8140, -0.5290, and this third one, 1.1.34330. Y-intercepts, or it's crossing the y-axis right there, 0, -2. Okay. Maximums and minimums. These are points. They're not going to be infinity garbages. They're points. They're points. They're points. Ordered pairs. So I look for a maximum, a high point, right there. I know this goes up forever here. We're looking for what's called a local maximum. Like we said, there are hills and valleys. So here's the hill, -1.869. That's the maximum. -1.869, 4065. 4.065. And the minimum is a valley, so right there, there's a minimum. 0.535, -2.879. Okay, cool. Now, for a moment, for a moment, I want to do something for a second. Let's look at the two ends. This end here. If that end, it's going left forever and down forever. So down forever is the y, that's to negative infinity. Left forever is the x, that's to negative infinity. Because if it goes out that forever, it's forever is infinity. Up here, this is going that way forever and ever and ever. So it's getting higher and higher. That tells me the y value is going up to infinity. And the x value is going right forever, so it's going to infinity. Now, I do that because I want to hit domain and range right now. Domain. If I could take it and squish it down to the y-axis, what's the furthest it would go that way? If I squish this down, this is going to keep going forever there. Squish it, it'll go forever there to the right. So my domain here is negative infinity to infinity. And in fact, the range is also negative infinity to infinity, because the range is, if I could squish this down to the y-axis, where would it go? Well, all this would go here, and this arrow would go here, and it would keep going up forever. Same way it's going down. So negative infinity to positive infinity. Now, I want to do something. Increasing, decreasing, end behavior. You know, end behavior. Let's do end behavior. What I've got. I've got two ends, left and right. What's the left end? There's the left end. Negative infinity, negative infinity. Guys, you can just do that if an ordered pair. Right end, infinity, infinity. Right end, infinity, infinity. Cool. There. Good enough. Increasing, decreasing, positive, negative. I want to leave that for a second. Symmetry. There's only three options. One, it's even. If the y-axis cuts it in half, does this half look exactly the same as that? No, it's not even. Okay, odd. Turn it upside down. Does it look exactly the same? No, because it's not going through the center. So it's different. No, it's not exactly the same. So it's not even. It's not odd. So it's none. Period. Now, increasing, decreasing, positive, negative. These are ones that people have some issues on. What I want to do right now is I'm going to scratch out every single y value, because the number one mistake I've been seeing is people use the y values. So here's my recommendation, and I haven't said this in class, but I'll say it right here. Do these things last and cross out all the stinking y values. That way you'll never use them, right? And start at the left end. Start at the left end. Start at the left end. I can't say it again. I will. Start at the left end. Okay, let's look increasing. Left end. As I go, follow it from left to right, and I start here at negative infinity. If I go here, is it increasing or decreasing? It's increasing because it's going up. So I come down here to increasing and negative infinity. It's increasing from, why did I use the red pen? I don't know. Increasing from negative infinity. Until where? Track it with your pencil or your pen until it stops to increase, and it stops right there. Well, where am I? Negative 1.869. Negative 1.869. Okay, there's your first increasing interval. So it's increasing from here to here, but now it's not. It's decreasing. Well, where did it start? Right there. So it started decreasing at negative 1.869. And then trace it until it stops decreasing. So it stops decreasing. Boom, right there. What's that point? 0.535. Okay, if you look at these intervals, start, stop, start, stop. So it started here, stopped there, started up again, stopped there, and now it's increasing again from 0.535. So you could have more than one intervals on these. Until when I get to the end, infinity. And since you've already crossed out the y values, all you have is your x values. List them, okay? Do the same thing with positive, negative. Start at the left. Now, remember, if it's up here, it's positive. If it's down here, that's negative. So start at the left end, right there. And you have to ask yourself, right there, is it positive or negative? Well, is it below or above? So if you want to think of this, you could write above on positive, below. That will help you remember. Okay, so here, right there. Is it above or below? Well, it's below, so that means it's negative. So at negative infinity, it's below the x-axis. So where does it stop being below the x-axis? So follow, 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 follow. Boom, right there. What's that? Negative 2.814. Negative 2.814. Okay. But now at negative 2.814, it changes from being below to above. Do you see how when one interval stops, the other one starts? They'll do that. Start, stop, start, stop. So it starts, stops, starts here. Where does it stop being positive or stop being above? So it's still above, 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 above. Stop right there. Where am I? Negative 0.529. Negative 0.529. Okay. But now it starts being negative again. So negative 0.529. So it's below, 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 below until right there, which is what? 1.343. 1.343. But I'm not done yet because they still got more. But 1.343, it starts being positive again. And it's positive from 1.343 or above the x-axis from there forever, all the way to infinity. There it is. Okay? Now, move on. Oh, move on. New video, new page. See ya. Bye.